I want to welcome everybody back again to another special episode of Beyond the Rankings. I'm your host, Oz Bangor. Today we got a special guest. And for most of us that love boxing, this young man right here, if you don't know, like get to know him really quick. And I think the boxing world is starting to know who he is. I'm going to give a slight intro, but I'm going to let him just kind of tell us who he is, and then we can go from there. So Max Garland, if you don't know him, go look him up, check him out. He's an up-and-coming boxer at 147, but as we talked about, he's in a space where he's holding his own. He's going to be up there for ones we're going to be talking about for a while. So without further ado, Max, welcome to the show. How you doing today, man?
I'm doing good, bro. Thank you for having me.
Nah, no doubt. Now listen, man, for most that don't know, I wanted you to tell us a little bit who Max Garland is, and then what the people need to kind of know about you.
Well, Maximus Garland, just a kid, that just came up doing this thing in boxing, 5 years old, from an old little gutter gym in the trenches, you know what I mean? So that's just basically who I am, just a chill, laid back guy, you know what I'm saying? And when I get in that ring, it's a whole different story.
No, absolutely. So how did you get into boxing?
I got into boxing when I was 5, but it initially wasn't for me.
Okay.
It was for my older brother. And
Okay.
my father just took me to the gym with him. I'm just seeing everybody work out and doing stuff, so I'm trying to work out and all this stuff. So I pressed him out to let me spar. He like, man, I'm not about to let you spar. He ain't like, I'm 5. He like, all right, to shut you up, you think I was gonna go in there and get beat up or whatever. Man, I went in there and whooped whoever, and I was like, that's what I'm trying to do. And he just been bringing me back ever since.
So when you look at that, your brother, like you said, just tagging along like most family members, we have older brothers that we just kind of follow if it's basketball, football, and then you jumped in there now. Listening to that, who would you say inspired? Would it be your brother or would it be your dad that inspired you to get into it?
My father.
Okay.
Because my brother, he did his own thing, other thing, because he played football as well. So it was like tit for tat, but he wasn't really into boxing like how I was. So my father kind of, put that narrative on me, and we just kept going to the gym. And then when he went away, my mother picked up where my father left off and just kept taking me to the gym.
Okay, and then from that point on, now dad is introducing you to it. When did you really take it and say, you know what, I want to do this? What age could you say? Because you started, like you said, you started at 5, but at what point, going in there every day, seeing your dad pushing you like, hey, this is what I want. When did you say, this is what I want to do?
About 13, 14, because I was also playing football too as
Okay.
well. So, but, I'd go from a football season and try to come back to boxing, and, I be going to tournaments. Tournaments is all around when I come back from those times. So, I just come back from a tournament, I play second because I'm not in full shape of boxing shape, but I go out there and I do my thing. So, I'm placing first or second or winning tournaments or just placing second or whatever. So, and my father and mother had to sit back and tell me, they're like, listen, you either gonna play football or you gonna box at this point in time. So which one you gonna do? And I chose boxing.
Yeah, and so going from that point, football, basketball, we've all played multiple sports. How hard was that for you, that decision to pick one or two? And how long did you try to prolong to giving one or the other up?
I definitely prolonged probably until I got into high school. So
Okay.
I was playing Pee Wee ball until then. So I made them make me play Pee Wee ball. But when I got in high school, it kind of was like, okay, it's either I'm gonna do this or I'm gonna do that. So I'm either have to choose a way because I can't do both. So about high school was the deciding factor for me.
What high school did you go to?
I went to Thomas Stone out here, and then I went to Sewell.
Okay. What was the difference? It's funny because I'm looking at one in Waldorf, one in Sewell, Maryland.
Yeah.
What was the difference with the two high schools?
I mean, you know the difference. But they don't. The difference is, one is kind of like built up education-wise out here in Waldorf. I can say the education was better, and because I went to Sewell, they was all the way behind on the curriculum. Like I already knew, I already did this in this grade, and they already doing it in high school. So I'm like, hold on, this and it's the ghetto. That's what I like better than out here. But hey.
Now, building up to that 13, get to high school, you're into it as much as you are now. You're getting excited. When was that first fight? Well, let's go from your first time you actually spar, and then now it's like, okay, well, I think I'm ready. Or when Pop said, yeah, I think you're ready for that first fight.
Well, it's crazy because they was always trying to give me a fight ever since I was 5, but I couldn't legally fight until I was 8.
Okay.
So I just been in the gym training, sparring for 3 years straight.
Okay.
So once I turned 8, they like, oh, we better get you a fight. We gonna get you a fight. I got a fight so fast. I remember the run and shoot. I was 8 years old. The old run and shoot. we fought right in the back, and I fought a dude named Donald Ford. Beat the brakes off, man. I love you, Donald. You still got I love you to death, but beat the brakes off Donald Ford, and it's been up ever since. So at that point, I kind of realized I like this. I like this feeling. Like I like people watching me. Like it ain't like a team thing. So it's like a football. You gotta rely on your quarterback. You gotta rely on this, that, third. I gotta rely on my team and me. So it's like I'm the only one getting in the ring. I gotta rely on my skills.
Now going into it, obviously the hype was built up. Man, we gotta get you a fight. We gotta get you a fight. When it actually happened, now everybody's watching. Now this is live. Like this counts. Like what was that feeling like? Was it nervousness? Like how did you feel going into it?
Nah, going into it, I was excited. I always been like a off the wall type of kid. I ain't never really been scared to do anything. So it's like at that point, I just was excited. I was ready to do something to show everybody my father was messing with me messing with the whole fight. That's somebody I want to prove wrong. Like he just was messing. Oh, this kid gonna beat you up, or other stuff like that. So it don't really like phase me. So I just be trying to just keep it full.
So you had that fight. Now you're like, you know what? Everybody's like, yeah, well, we really need to pour into you. We need to get you there. Now looking at the career, we know how fast it can happen. What was a turning point? A career change as you got that first fight? What did you think? Say it was a memorable moment for you as this all started happening. Now we have that wheel going around now. Like, okay, this is what we're gonna do for Max. What was a memorable point in boxing for you as you started at that age?
At 8, tournaments, man. I'm talking about they was putting me in a lot of tournaments, back to like local tournaments.
Okay.
I was in everything because they seen the potential in the group that I had, and they wanted to see was I going to shy away from it or was I going to go to the fight. And I went to the fight, and I was undefeated for a while. And then me and the guy Stacy Shelby, it's really Stacy Shelby. Me and him had the turning factor of my boxing career at 8 years old. We fought probably like 3-4 times right before we done turned 10 or 11.
Yep.
So I won 2, he won 2, so it was kind of like going back and forth. But that was probably the deciding factor right there. Now
the tournaments at that age, we're looking at rounds. So for the people that don't know, how many rounds would you guys starting at that age you'll go in terms of obviously the stamina, the endurance that comes along with it? What were you guys? How many rounds you guys were going at that age?
We doing 3 rounds, 1-minute rounds. 3 1-minute rounds. You gotta go in there, go back out. I'm telling you.
So now having faced like going into that, we know with any sport, injuries come now. In that span, did you face any setback, any injuries that kind of had you any sort of doubt? Like, man, like I might need to take a step back. Was it anything you ran into that you felt set you back a little bit?
Nah, myself.
Okay.
It's more so myself set me back farther than anything else.
Okay.
Because of, when you're young and, you coming up as a teenager, you start smelling yourself, man. You want to explore and do different things, but as my life as a boxer, I can't go to this. I can't do that. I can't do that. I'm in tournaments. I'm at the gym. I'm training for this. I'm training for that. I don't got your everyday regular kid life. So it was like once I was trying to live like a regular kid, and it's like I just kept setting myself back, setting myself further from everybody. But once I realized that ain't you, bro. You different. So once I had to realize I'm different, I can still do everything that I want to do, but at different times. It'll be times and place for everything. You hear me?
Now with that, right? With the setback and a lot of times I think even in every sport, especially in boxing, for those that want to get into it, we talk about us being in our own way. You mentioned a setback. It was more so you, as you're going into it, you're saying, I'm the one holding myself back. What really got you out of that space where it's like, you know what, why are you playing around? Why are you BSing with this? Why can't you just go all in and just attack this like this is really what I want to do?
I don't know. I still ask myself that question to this day because I still feel like I'm in my own way in some aspects. Just I've been doing this for so long, so I just feel as though like the way I came into this program, the way I came into this pro game is just like I should be further along than where I feel like I am. But yeah, I know it take time. You know, it take time. So that's why I just be in my own way of, you know what I'm saying? Because I know all these other guys getting opportunities or this, that, and the third, and I'm better than them. You know, but like I said, they put the work in. I got to put the work in to get there. So it's not even about skills or anything in the aspect. It's just putting the work in. Just got to get out my own way.
So now looking at all of that, now you into the boxing pretty heavy. What fight can you think of that sort of defined you and gave you that confidence, or at least taught you the most out of all your experiences that you can think from right now, from starting to this point?
My last fight.
Elaborate on that.
My last fight of OTX, my very first chance of fighting on a big stage, a platform. And, you know, opponent going to his backyard, I'm the underdog. You know, most of my fights, I've been the A side. I ain't never really been the B side and none of my fights coming in. So that was already a chip on my shoulder right there. So then on top of that, you know, you talking, you mouthing off through social media, you know, getting me out of my character. But I'm not, I had to realize, I'ma see him. We gonna get into it. I'ma see you. So it's like, you know, that was just the biggest controversy of it all. Cause I want to go back and forth. I want to say something to you, but I'm gonna say something to you in the ring. When I see you, we gonna get it on. That's just it. That's all. But for the most part, my last fight, just going in his backyard and shutting him up. You know, that's just what it is. You know, and getting the opportunity at OTX.
And let's speak on that, right? So a lot of times we all ask for opportunities, and we just never know when they're coming. Here you are. At that time, you were 7-0, right? 8-0. Yep, you was 8-0. So you've established yourself. Everybody know. Because even one point we talked a year and a half ago trying to just figure fights for you, right? But every time you reach out to promoters, as soon as they threw your name out, they was like, nah, we don't want to fight, right? So now this happening in that stage, going in his backyard, Atlanta, now it's usually a lot of fights in neutral sites, right? So now you're going in, like you said, the build up to the fight, the conversation, the trash talking. How was that? Again, you're going into somebody's backyard. And we know with football, same thing, you go play the opponent's space. Now you're walking there, you know, everybody's against you other than your team, right? What was that like? What was your energy like? How did you feel? And once the fight started, where was your mind at this point?
Man, leading up to it and everything building up, that was. he woke a monster up that time, I ain't gonna lie. Like, training, everything, like, talk, like, waking a monster up, and shape Max is a dangerous Max. And when I say this camp, I bust my tail up and down to really make my mouth with him to show him what's up, like. So it wasn't no nerves, wasn't none of that. I went in his backyard like that was my home. Like, I felt like I was the A-side when I went out there. Like, even though I know that's their guy or whatever, but they gonna know who Max is when I come out there. So when I went out there, you know, just talking to everybody, and they're like, oh, you real confident. Yeah, I know what I'm doing in this boxing game. He's not on my level. I'm gonna show y'all. And the day before the fight, I told her, I think we did an interview with the people that's around him. I told them, I'm going to show y'all, I'm going to walk through him, and I'm going to show y'all how easy this is. And the next day, we were going through the fight, we was in the ring. And right before the bell rung, they was announcing us doing whatever. The dude, Brenton, was out there. I told him we was in the ring talking. He was just face. I said, I'm going to show you how easy this is. This boy ain't on my level. And he was just like, well, show me. And then after the fight, he came up to me and was like, you showed me he ain't on your level, and I told him I'd be back. But, you know, it ain't nothing else to, you know, you want to you can't poke a sleeping bear, you know what I'm saying? You poke the sleeping bear and he woke something up.
Now, for folks that understand boxing and watch it, and I can admit for me, I've gotten into a lot more. And obviously being around you times and I'm watching, I'm like, man, this is serious. You watch it from afar, but being as close as it is, right? We got to watch it. And I know I was at home and I'm in front of the TV, I'm standing up, and I don't think I sat down. So I'm watching you fight. And again, I could be wrong, but it was like something in your eyes, like, I want to knock him out. And there was times where you can tell the aggression, you know, like, not the discipline, but you're like, nah, he don't want to be in the ring with me. Mm-hmm. So how do I stay disciplined enough where I want to knock him out, but I'm a catcher? But I don't want this to go as long as it's like, what was your mind? What is that? What does that discipline take? And how did you find yourself to be able to manage that, to keep your composure, not get caught off guard, but still execute with your team, your coaches, kind of the plan you guys had for that fight?
Well, the discipline, it definitely came over time, because my first 4 fights, I want to say I just came out late,
right,
making myself tired, you know, not understanding. We got around, we can understand, but I think it's just the older I'm getting and mature, I'm just getting and understanding life and just understanding a lot more things. Just, you ain't got to be so, you can take your time on it, you know, and just people that surround myself by, like my managers, for instance, them some chill, laid back guys. My parents, they're chill, laid back, you know what I'm saying? Like, everybody laid back, so I'm understanding how the process is to chill a little bit, a lot more, and just understanding just being in there. Yeah, I got caught with a couple dumb shots or whatever, but for the most part, I wasn't really looking for the knockout. I was looking to just
punish him.
To hurt him the whole time. I wanted to make a statement, and that was my statement that I made for the whole fight.
So now we're looking at the fight. Now it's over. The excitement, the build up, everybody is okay. This kid can really fight, and now the promote, everybody's involved now. We want Max. Like, we think he has us. Obviously, the team manages, everybody has the confidence in you. Leading up to that, can you speak on preparation? Like, what training for you? What does training look like for Max on a daily basis?
Every day we doing, well, not every day, but every week, every day of the week. The Step Sunday, we in the gym, we working every day, just doing strength and conditioning, or we sparring, or we sprinting, or we doing everything, you know, and we working on a game plan to how to defeat our opponent, you know.
Okay.
My coaches or whatever they do, they look at their game plan, they look at the person fighting and see what his strengths is, what his weakness is. But they already know what I can do. I don't really have too many weaknesses, so they already know what I can do.
No.
So, we just elaborate on what I can do and just push the narrative of staying this way, staying that way. Like fighting a southpaw exactly was the last fight. Mm-hmm. I haven't really fought too many southpaws on my resume at that moment. So, you know, it was more so stepping to your left, just making sure your hand up. Or if you're going to step to your right, make sure you dart out this way, and make sure you count it. Then go back to your left, you know, just make sure that, you know, slipping his shots. It was a lot of stuff that we worked on every day at the camp. Just made sure it was repetition, stuck in my head, you know, and we just executed off that.
Now, you mentioned something I just heard. You mentioned repetition, and I think when we're talking training, a lot of times it's the mental aspect of it, right?
Right.
So the repetition aspect of it, when you're repping something, how easy is it for somebody to get bored with doing the same thing over and over and over, but understanding this is what's going to get me to that level? Like, what does your mental capacity has to be able to rep something over and over and over again to be ready for fights?
I mean, you got to really be wanting to do it to really understand this is going to help you win the fight. Once you understand that they ain't just doing this for their health, nobody just wants to keep doing something over and over again. But once you keep doing it over and over and over again, you understand this action. It's become second nature. It become in your what's it called, in your subconscious.
Yep.
Go right in your subconscious, because you just gonna do it without even knowing you doing it. And once you start doing it like that, it's everything's a wrap. You want everything that you learn in training camp to go in your subconscious, and you work off your conscious mind. You don't want, because you work off you work off your subconscious.
Yep.
Everything gonna flow.
Yep.
You don't want to have a conscious mind of, oh, I'm gonna do this and trying to think of that. You just let everything flow and work.
Okay. So, and then what that sounds like to me is, and so you're like, it's more not being robotic, you just being loose and understanding what the assignment is, and not being stiff, loose, confident, relaxed, and then just kind of go through the process.
Right.
Now, with that, what would you say is the hardest part of the training? If you have, what would be the, knowing I walk in there today, what would be the hardest part of training?
Losing weight. Losing weight. That's about it. Everything else, I can do it.
Okay.
You know, it's not no ifs, ands, or buts about it. You know, we can do it. But losing weight.
Now let's touch on that, right? So we hear it all the time, gotta cut weight, we gotta do this, we gotta do that. So what goes behind right now if you had to lose weight or to catch weight for a fight? What goes behind that?
Man, we're talking about you gotta eat different. Your whole, you know how you live on an everyday basis. You can eat a little snack here, a little cheat meal there. No, none of that. For the whole, like the last 2-3 weeks, straight diet meals, salads, chicken, little whatever, how that go.
Yeah.
2 meals a day though. You can only eat breakfast and you can only eat after you've done training. So it's like.
So no lunch, no in between, everything just whatever that diet is.
Whatever that is. I mean, you can really in between it if you want to work 2-3 times a day, but depends on how many times you work out. But yeah, that's it for the most part. That's that, and then you go in there and you lose about 7-8 pounds, 6 pounds a day. And, you know, that's just, it ain't fun, man. It ain't fun at all. It ain't fun. I don't even want to talk about it.
So we lose weight, we get there now when we're, and I'll circle back to what I asked earlier. Now we're in a fight, and you mentioned it earlier in the last fight, you got caught a couple of times. Now again, prior to getting in the fight started, obviously instruction is given, what to look for from the defensive standpoint and things like that. Now, if something throws you off a little setback where you get hit with a couple of shots, right? Mentally, where are you at? And then once that round is over, what's the exchange back and forth with you and the trainer?
Okay. Basically, it's basically resetting everything. I get hit with a shot, boom. Okay, that's a good shot. I know I'm gonna get it back, but I ain't gotta get it back right then and there.
Okay.
It's just gonna basically reset everything, go back behind my jab, and we're gonna set it. I wasn't supposed to get hit with that.
Yep.
It's a wake up call. That just woke me up. Okay, now it's time to get back to the jab and get back to what I was doing bad.
Yep.
Time to wake up. When I go back to the corner, if I already ain't wake up by then there's gonna be, come on, man, you wasn't supposed to get hit with that shot. Wake up, man. You know, you ain't supposed to do none of that. You know, we just go back on the dialogue just for the last part. I was like, I'm slipping his left hand good. It just, I'm not gauging the distance right on. I'm thinking I'm out of the way of the distance of his left hand. He got long arms, just reaching it, just hit me. It's hitting me, but it ain't really doing nothing to me, but it's still hitting, you know? So, you know, we made that adjustment in the corner, just saying, step over, not back, step over. Once we made that adjustment and keeping your hands up and stuff, everything was.
Now, has there been times where, throughout your career in terms of fighting, where, to be honest and transparent, maybe gone against the direction of the trainers? Because when everything is live, right? Now it's, okay, I know we worked on this, we talked about this, but I see an opportunity where maybe I can do something a little different. And what was that like? And have you taken that chance?
Definitely.
Okay.
See, with me, I'm an open book. See,
Okay.
I got different variations of styles that I can do. I can bang, I can box, I can walk down going forward, I can box you on my back foot, I can do whatever I need to do to really fight. But, you know, whatever I feel comfortable at that moment, like say if I'm fighting somebody that's feet slow, you know, I can box them real easy, but I'm digging real good to the body, and I'm hitting them real easy. So they'll come back to the corner, they want me to box, but I see something, you know, and they whatever you see, we elaborate off of that. So we just change the game plan off of, I don't really want to do that. I can do it, but I see something. Okay. Then if I see something that round, then if I execute it, then we'll continue off of that. But if I don't execute it, now you might get something up in the corner again. You might need to go back to your jab or something.
And that's great. So now it sounds like from the communication standpoint, you guys all have to be on the same accord. Where something happens, they trust you enough to say, okay, he see it, let's see what happens or what comes out of it, and then we'll just go from there. Okay. So that has to be there. Now, when you look at all of this, you've been fighting, your career's picking up, the buzz is around you, we're going to obviously, it's a lot of opportunities coming your way now. Outside of boxing, who is Max? Like, what do we do for fun, or is it just boxing every single day, 365 days?
Hell no. Boxing is man. I'm telling you, boxing is like an on and off switch for me. I've been doing it so long. Once I step into the gym, click the switch on.
Okay.
Once I step foot out of the gym, click the switch off. I'm a civilian in my eyes. I go in the house, I play the game. You know, I chill. Me and my girl go on dates. You know. Like others, like go out of town, other stuff. Like, I'm just trying to be a regular person at that point. I'm not trying to think of boxing 24/7. I don't even watch boxing outside of when I leave the gym because I'm trying to just be a regular person. Yeah. I've been doing it too long. I'm trying not to overdo boxing.
Yeah. Now, how important is that for you? Because again, some people don't know how to turn it on and off, and it's rare you hear, you know, fighters or people in general just say, I could just switch it off while I take my girl on a date. I just get away from boxing. Like, how important is that for you, for your mental as a whole, as a person?
It's important because I've been doing this since I was 5.
Yeah, okay.
I'm 23 right now. Yeah. I've been doing this for forever.
And just to let you know, 23 sound like you real old, but yeah, I'm still
young. But from 5 to 23 is a long time.
It is a long time. That's real. That's real.
It's a long time. Like, I can be retiring right now. Yeah. Like, be getting a 401k for something. Like, you know what I'm saying? Like,
that's real.
But from now, it's just like, I've been doing this for so long. I can get bored from just doing it. So I need to step away from boxing to get away from, to do this and do that and the third, and then make me miss it a little bit. You know, make me miss it, going to the gym and seeing this, that, and the third, and seeing working and being in there. Because if I don't, I just be in there like, I'm bored. I've been doing it. I know what I'm gonna do. I know I can do this. I know I can do that. I just need to step away for a little second and get my mental together.
So now looking at that, outside of even that, in terms of the balance, are you involved in anything in the community, and this can be maybe in a gym when you're not there and you see a young, inspired kid want to box, and do you run into that? Like, what else are you involved in terms of the community that you see can potentially help the next person that's inspired to be a boxer?
Not really. I'm not really. For the most part, if I come across somebody that wants to box, somebody like a friend that had their kid around or whatever that wants me to try, I'm most definitely a step up and coach them and teach them and do whatever I can do. But, people be doing their own thing and be on their own time, so I really haven't. I taught a couple kids, for the most part, like my nephew. I taught my girl little brother. You know what I'm saying? Like, I taught little kids for the most part to how to really put their hands up and throw and protect themselves for the most part. But like communities and all that. I think that's something that we should all get into. Hosting something. Having a little event. Bring your kids out. I could teach them for an hour or something on how to do something. Just little stuff like that. But other than that, no.
Yeah. And so now, as we look at boxing as a whole, we know it's a business, right? We know it's a business. It's a lot that comes with it. So with that, how do you navigate sponsorships, opportunities to sort of not only build your career into an elite fighter, but everything that's going to come with it from the business aspect of it when you're approached by, say, companies that potentially want to work with you and build partnership? How do you balance that or navigate that?
You can talk to my team. We can sit back, talk to my team. If the numbers making sense or everything making sense, then we can do it. I don't conduct no business. That's why I got a team for it. You come up to me, I'm gonna send you over there. So for the most part, that's why I trust my team enough to to handle that.
So so with that, with the business, like, what would a young fighter that's been boxing since 5, right? And You've gone through the experience, the fight. Now you're seeing the opportunity, and you elaborated on it a little bit. Now, if someone comes, you mentioned you just direct them to a team. Now, is there any sort of pressure that comes with, having to deal with that, even though you navigate it? Does it come in your mind? Does it play in your mind as well? Like, man, with the business, I wonder if this is being discussed, or you just sort of push it away a little bit, what you just said just now, and let them deal all business and not get caught up with fight, because obviously as a boxer, my job is to box, their job is to do this. Right. Do you at any point give any say or opinion in terms of what you think if something is brought to you?
Most definitely.
Okay.
We all, because I feel like we all in a partnership, and more than anything feel like anybody work for anybody. We're more so in a partnership, so we can all sit back and talk about something. For the most part, you approach me with something. My first, you won't get sent over there all ripped. So it's like, I'm already tell them who I done talk to, who want to talk, and let them handle the business aspect. They whoever, my manager, whoever come back, they got a couple questions. We can always sit back and talk about it. It ain't always, yeah, I'm gonna say this gotta go. No, they say this gotta go. We all agree on it, and we can go.
Gotcha. So now with that boxing business, now I'm going to touch into like advice and legacy right now, for your legacy and what you're doing. Obviously, you have ways to go as you want to continue to be a lead in this space, which we have no doubt that you're going to be. What would Max want to be remembered as you're in your career, further in the career along, and once it's all said and done, you decide at that point. It's ways to go now. You're only 23, so we still have some time. But
not really though. We only got 7 years left.
Okay.
We got 7. Well, I give it a good 10. I give it a good 10.
Okay.
Really 7. I'm not trying to be, after I turn 30. I'm not trying to be in this, man. I'm just trying to be a businessman at that point. Hopefully, I done got to where I need to be in the boxing game, so I touch a lot of money and I can step out and put my money elsewhere to make money for me at that point. But I mean, for the most part, I want to be remembered by that nobody ain't never ducked nothing. I'm in there that I go in there and fight anybody. If the money in the contract right, man, we can do it. So, and one of the, and they gonna be known as, I ain't paying no belt fee. I'm telling you right now, I'm giving them up.
Nah, so what's next for Max in terms of fight? Right now, we talked earlier, 147, what's next? What has been the conversation? Obviously, we talked about prior to the last fight, not a lot wanted to fight Max. I'm sure it ain't a lot right now, but what's next for you, career, in terms of boxing?
Oh, I don't know. Wherever God take me at this point, but I know He got it. I know He got a good hand on me at this point, because eyes is on me. We go back in OTX on the Atlanta card. I think that's in February. We ain't got the exact date, but we go back in February on OTX. But we're gonna finish the year out for sure. We just looking to get on a car, see who wants some smoke. That's it, that's all.
They can't duck it. You're going to find it. We're going to find it.
Some way, somehow.
There you go. Get it. There you go. So now this is the fun part, right? Rapid questions. So I'm going to ask you 4 questions. All right. Rapid, and you just, all right, you ready?
All right.
Favorite boxer of all time?
Me.
Okay. Hey. Rapid question. No, not second guessing or not. No. You. Walkout song. Choice song.
Gotta keep my rapper with me. Gotta keep my rapper with me. What's my man name? 3. I gotta keep 3 with me. So probably Thigh Pad Kobe. Carhartt. That's the next song coming out, so y'all gonna, it's in the code too.
So they hear that's Max. Yeah, we know he coming. All right, there we go. All right, so what's the go-to cheat meal? And then don't worry, we'll mute that part, but go ahead.
Yeah. Carry out. I go to carry out.
What you want? Wings, fried rice, steak and cheese? What we talking about?
Give me some wings, some fries, mumbo sauce, and everything. Yeah, I need it.
There you go. What is one word that describes you in the ring?
Great.
All right, and it's interesting, and I'll circle back to the first all-time favorite fighters. And sometimes I think even when we ask folks that question, folks are sometimes timid to say them, right? And but again, it takes a special person to kind of feel that confidence and believe in themselves. So I respect that. So now, last thing is we're winding this out. Where can our listeners follow you, keep up with your journey? I know we talked about some merchant things you're working on as well.
Yeah.
Where can they go to follow you, follow your journey, even if they have questions to reach out and ask? Where can they go?
They can go on Instagram, Money Max 3 Y's and MAX at the end. That's crazy. You follow me, a different breed will pop up.
And I'll touch on that real quick. So different breed, explain that right there. That's the nickname. Explain that real quick before we go, because definitely for the people that know, we need to understand that the different breed. What does that mean?
I'm different, man. It's crazy. It's been since I was born. Only reason I kind of really chose that name is because I was a preemie for when I was born. I was born 2 months early.
Okay.
They said I wasn't really supposed to make it here overnight, so I already knew I was special from the jump. So once that happened, and I kind of got into boxing, and I realized I got skills. Like I really have natural God gifted talent. Like it's been different. Can't nobody match or mimic what I do. I'm him. So you know what I'm saying? So I'm a different breed.
Makes sense. Last but not least, anybody out there you want to shout out, it's on you. We can shout them all out now from the bottom to top. There's no limit.
Shout out to my mom. She held me down. Shout out to Pops. Shout out to my girl. She them the ones right there. My sister, my brother. The whole fam. You know how we going. The gym. Everybody know what's up. Hillcrest gang. You know what's up with it. Ernesto, you will see this. You won't be mad at me. Just support my managers, my lovely camera crew. You know what I'm saying?
For sure.
Everybody, man. Just appreciate you for having me.
For sure.
Out.
Nah, and listen, I tell y'all now, man. If you haven't gotten a chance to meet Max, be around him, I had a chance. I have to go in the gym and just watching him, just his preparation, his approach to it, his love for it, as you guys can hear. Follow him, follow his journey. For young, inspired boxers, when I say, when you hear him talk, his mental is different, his approach to it is different. He has fun doing it. And a lot of times I think when we get into space in sports, or especially boxing, that can be brutal. Your mental have to be different. But trust when I tell you, y'all heard it here second, because he's been telling y'all on this on IG. If you follow him, you hear him talking all the time. Like he's going to be a leader in this space. He's already a leader, and the world is on notice. So Max, appreciate you again coming through. We definitely going to have you back out here. We're going to follow this journey, man. And once we get to the top, we everybody's going to know about it. But keep doing what you're doing, man. Believe in yourself, man, and stay prayed up, man. Great job, man, and keep doing your thing.
Thank
all right,
appreciate
my man, for sure.